Hey guys, Mr. Tatum here again. We are working on our Onshape part design using Part Studios. We have covered the pattern types this week: circular pattern, linear pattern, mirror, and draft. And so we are on to incorporate those features along with the features that we learned last week for extrude and the other features like that, and incorporate all that in, and we're going to create a wheel rim for a vehicle. So you should have your Onshape open and to the exercise and ready to go with your blank document open as well. So the wheel rim exercise, our goals in this exercise is to practice creating a master sketch. We want to create an extrude feature with different end types. We're going to model a hole. We're going to do a circular pattern and draft features, and we're going to insert fillets and chamfers into the features. So we're going to go to next if you're following along on the exercise itself. Just like normal for the last several exercises, we are going to go to step 1, and we're going to create a new document, change the workspace length units to millimeters, and begin our sketch on the front plane. And we're going to have 2 document windows open in Onshape so that we can flip back and forth between the 2. So let's do that now. So we're going to go to our document here. We're going to go to Create Document, and we're going to title this Wheel Rim, and then your initials, of course. So we make sure it's yours. So I get my blank document on the screen. I'm going to go to my document menu here, the 3 bars to the right of Onshape. When I click that, go down to my workspace units. Here you're going to find the default length units, just like every other time we've done this. We're going to change that default from inches to millimeters. Click the check mark. Next up, we're going to create our sketch. And it said we are doing the sketch on the front plane. Remember, I can select the front plane from here or from here, either way. So we're ready to go. I'm going to select over here in my navigation box the front so that it rotates that around to me. For me, I like that view. It makes it a little easier to do, in my opinion. So we're done with that first slide. So we're going to go to next. And step 2 says sketch the circles and lines and construction lines as shown. All the circles are concentric and the 2 lines are symmetric about the construction line. So you can see on your learning tab, let's go ahead and do this. So you can see on your learning tab that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 circles, 2 lines, and a construction line. And so that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create my circles first. I'm going to grab one, draw it. I need 4, 2, 3. Remember, we don't care what size they are because we're going to dimension them later. There's 4. I'm going to create a construction line. So I'm going to choose my construction tool and then select the line tool. And from the origin here, I'm going to drag that up and attach. Notice it's the dotted line, so I know it's my construction line. So now I need to draw 2 regular lines, so I need to uncheck my construction tool. So I just only have the the regular line tool selected now. And I need to draw 2 lines from the center to the second circle, like so. So I'm going to come in here, start here, click and drag, and when it highlights, I know I'm on it, let go. Go back to the center, go back and do the same thing to the other side, and let go. These lines are symmetric about the construction line, so we need to make them concentric and symmetric. Now, because I used the origin, these circles are already concentric, but just to make sure they don't get moved or anything in the future, I'm going to go ahead and unselect that I'm going to select all 4 of those circles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to come up here to my concentric constraint and select it. And now all 4 of those circles are locked together, so they can't be moved from this pivot point. Okay? So now I need to make these 2 lines symmetric, and that's what this construction line is for. So I'm going to select this line and this line, and remember, if only part of the line lights up, move your mouse a little bit and it will select the other part of it. So then I'm going to come up here and select my symmetric tool, and then select what I'm going to be symmetric about, and notice that line there moved in, so now they are symmetric. So there we have, we've completed slide 2. We're on to slide 3 now. Slide 3, we're going to dimension our part using our dimension tool, and make sure that all the part is carefully defined before moving to the next step. So that we're going to start with the outside circle first, 500, and then 475, 400, and 150. So we're going to jump back over here to our document. So I'm going to select my dimension tool, and I'm going to start with my outer circle here. Click, pull it out, 500. Okay, it jumps up really big, so I'm going to zoom so I can see the whole thing now. This next circle here was 475. Click, drag out, 475, and enter. I'm going to go ahead and drag that back in. This circle here is 400. And let me zoom out so I can grab that and bring it back in. I don't have to do that, but I want to do that. And then the last circle, was it 150? Yeah, 150. Last circle was 150, so we're going to grab it, drag it over here, 150, and enter. Bring that back over. Okay, so the only other thing we have left to dimension now is our angle for our 2 lines. So we're going to jump back over here. That's a 30-degree angle. So I'm going to select this line. Now notice it's measuring that line right now, but if I move on over here to this other line and select it now and stay in the center here, now it's going to measure the angle between those 2 lines. And I can bring that up here, type in 30 degrees and enter. And now that angle is going to be stuck at 30 degrees. And if you want to see that, you can grab it and bring it around there in the center. Make it look nice. All right. So hopefully you're still following along. We are done with step 3, on to step 4 now. We are going to rename the sketch main sketch and accept the sketch. We will use this sketch to create several of the features for the wheel and rim later. So we're going to rename this to main sketch. So I come back over here. Here's my sketch. I'm going to select the pencil, which is the edit, and I'm going to type in main sketch and check. And now I have my fully dimensioned sketch named as main sketch. So we are done with step 4. On to step 5. So step 5, we're going to create a solid extrude feature with the symmetric end type at the depth of 150 millimeters. Select the 2 outermost profiles from the main sketch to extrude. Be sure new is selected to start a new part, and then accept the feature. So it's solid extrude, symmetric end type at 150 millimeters. So we're going to come in here, we're going to click our extrude feature, and we're going to select this ring and this ring. That's my 2 outermost rings. Now notice that it went up to here. I need to fill that in. There we go. Okay. So it needs to be symmetric. Is that what it was? Let me look. Yes, symmetric end top and 150 millimeters. So I changed that to symmetric. And depth is 150 millimeters. Now, if you remember what that does when we extrude that, that makes it go from the center plane that we drew on, it expands it in both directions symmetrically. So technically there will be 75 on the front and 75 behind that plane. And you'll see that here in just a second when I do this. So there it is. So now if I rotate this, there's my parts created over here. Now if I rotate this, you can see that, and you can see that I'm right in the middle of that plane. All right, so back to front. So we've accepted the feature, and we're on to slide 6, and we're going to rename part 1 to wheel rim. So we're going to go back to our document, go down to our parts, and I'm going to right click on part 1 down here, rename wheel rim, enter, and that's it for that step. So we're going to go back, do next slide now. Now we're going to show the main sketch to create the hub. We're going to select an extrude feature again, choose solid, choose the symmetric end, and it's going to be 200 millimeters. And then select the innermost profile from the main sketch to extrude. We're also going to check the draft checkbox to include a 5-degree draft. That's going to make it slope. And then be sure to draft. Be sure the draft direction is as shown, and then accept the feature. Be sure to include the triangle profile within the inner circle as well if it doesn't select itself. Okay, so let's start this. We'll probably have to jump back over here a couple of times. So we're going to turn our main sketch back on. So we're going to go over here and click the eye so we can see it again. And we're going to go to our extrude feature. And then I'm going to select this inner circle. Notice how it does not select that piece of the pie. So I'm going to select that one and then go back in there and select that one. There we go. This is going to be symmetric. I forgot what the other ones were. Solid, choose symmetric, 200, and a draft of 5 degrees. Symmetric, 200, with a draft, so we need to check our draft and change that to 5 degrees. And then click in the box there somewhere so it updates. And now, if you rotate this, come over to the side and right click and rotate your drawing a little bit, you'll be able to see which way the draft, that's the draft, you'll be able to see which way the draft is going, and that should correspond to that one. It should be the drafting out. If it's drafting the other way, you can click here and it'll go in. And this one is, yeah, drafting the wrong way. There we go. Because I'm upside down. That's why. Let's turn that back over. There we go. 5 degrees draft. Okay, I think we're done. So we're going to check. Move on to the next slide. Step 8, so to create the spoke, we're going to select the extrude feature, choose solid with a blind end top at the depth of 25 millimeters. Select the triangle profile from the main sketch to extrude, including the wedge inside the hub. And be sure the extrude direction is towards the front of the part. To add this feature to the wheel rim and part 2, select the add option and choose both the wheel rim and part 2 in the merge scope. So basically what that's saying is when you do this, you need to merge it to both of these two parts here that we created, and it's going to merge into one. Okay, when we're done, we'll click the check to add the feature, and now we should have a single part. Okay, so we're going to extrude blind at 25. So I'm going to do another extrude blind at 25. And I'm going to select that and that. There we go. Blind 25, select the triangle to extrude, including the wedge inside the hub. Be sure the extrude direction is towards the front of the part. And then to add, we're going to add that to there. So make sure when we rotate this that it's extruded to the front, and it did. See, there's my plane, and it extruded it this way, so that was correct. And we want to we need to be add. I'm going to add that to my merge scope is going to be both the wheel rim and the part. I believe is what that. Be sure to add this feature to the wheel rim and select the add option and choose but wheel rim and part 2. So that's what it did. So we did the wheel rim and part 2. So that should have merged that together. Check, and there you have it. It has been added. One spoke of our wheel. Okay, so we're ready to go to step 9. So to create a drafted spoke, select the draft feature. Choose the top face of the spoke as the neutral plane and the side faces as the entities to draft. We want it drafted at 15 degrees, being sure that the front face of the spoke is smaller than the back face, and then accept the feature. So our neutral plane is going to be the front of the spoke. So we're going to go to draft. So we're going to select our draft feature. Our neutral plane is that right there, the front of that spoke. It should highlight up. We're going to select that. Our entities to draft should be the two sides. So we're going to come back over here. I am going to select that one and then rotate to that one. My draft angle is going to be 15 degrees. And now I need to rotate this so I can see. It's going to be sloping out or from the bottom coming in. So that would be correct. If it's not correct, change directions. Now that's going to make the top slope in, which you don't want. We want it to slope out. So the default there should work fine. I'm going to select OK, and I can rotate and see that that is sloping now. Next slide, slide 10. This is the only half. This is the only half of the spoke. Let's mirror the features to create the whole spoke. So we're going to mirror the back side of this. So we're going to select the mirror feature and choose the feature to mirror as choose a feature mirror as the mirror type. Select the extrude and draft features that you created for the spoke. Choose the back face of the spoke as the mirror plane and then accept. So we're going to come over here. We're going to choose our mirror command. Our mirror feature. Oh goodness, I don't know what I'm doing. Drawing a blank here. Mirror feature. I forget which one of these is the mirror. Plane. Off surface. Oh my goodness, why am I drawing a blank? I know what the mirror feature is. The two little L deals. But where is it at? I've lost it. Give me 1 second, guys. There it is. I'm going right back and forth over it. So mirror feature. So we're going to change the part mirror to a feature mirror. And the features to mirror. Now we can select these individually, or we can come over here and we know that this is extrude 3 and the draft. So that those two are what we want to mirror. Extruded 3, which is this rectangle, and then the draft of that. And then we want to rotate this around to the back side. Click on the mirror plane and select the back side of that. And notice how it just duplicated that to the back side in a mirror image. And it's drafted correctly and everything. Check. And we are ready to move to step 11. So to add the rounds to the spoke, create a fillet feature of 2 millimeter radius. Select the front and back faces of the spoke. So we're going to pick the faces to create this fillet to. So we're going to come over here and we're going to choose our fillet command to do this front face and the back face. So we're going to select fillet. And we're going to select this face and then rotate around to this face, and 2 millimeters, I believe is what it said. It's just going to be a slight fillet on there. Click the check mark. Then if I zoom in, I can see they're now rounded. All right. Step 12. To pattern the spoke, select the center pattern, circular pattern feature. Choose the feature pattern for the pattern type. Select the extrude, draft, mirror, and fillet features, creating the spoke that this feature is the pattern. Select the circular edge shown as the axis pattern. Be sure the angle is set to 360 degrees and equal spacing checkbox is checked. Input 5 for the instance count. So we'll probably have to flip back and forth here a couple of times to get all this in there. So the first thing we're going to do is select the circular pattern feature and choose feature pattern for the top. So we're going to come over here. We're going to choose here's our patterns. That's on linear. We're going to come down here and select circular pattern. Entities to pattern. Where are we at here? Choose feature pattern for the pattern type. Pattern type is going to be feature. Features to pattern is going to be our extrude, our draft, our mirror, and our fillet. All 4 of those things make up that spoke that we want to duplicate. Our axis is going to be around the circle. Um, 360 degrees, circular edge, and we want 5. So 360 degrees, we're going to change that to 5. Equal spacing. And now we have 5 of them in here. And you can see that they're all duplicated just like each other. Nice and easy. Check. Next slide, 13. Create a new sketch on the indicated face. So we're going to create a sketch on the face of our wheel. So I'm going to create a new sketch. Make sure you're back on your front view. The plane to sketch is this plane. We're going to sketch on this face right here. Okay. Next, we're going to sketch construction circle, a vertical construction line, and a solid circle as shown. and add the dimensions shown with the dimension tool. Both circles are centered on the origin of the part studio. So we got two circles. The inner circle is a regular circle, so we're going to start with it there. Start with the center. Okay. In front. Why does that not look like it's? Because it's not. So I won't. Undo. Circle. Here. There we go. Got to make sure I get it on the right thing to draw that circle, or else it won't put it in the center. Now I need a construction circle. So I'm going to check my construction box, and I'm going to draw another circle a little bit bigger. And then I need a construction line from the center up to the construction circle. So I'm going to select line and go from center vertical straight up to, when it highlights, I know I'm on it, so I can click there and escape. Now to dimension, the center one is 35 and the outside one is 90. So dimension tool here, 90. Here, oops, here, 35. Okay, so now those are correct. We're going to go to next. So we're on step 15 now. We're going to rename the sketch Bolt Circle and accept the sketch. So we're going to go to the sketch over here, select the pencil to edit, and what did that say? Bolt? What does that say? Bolt sketch? Bolt circle, sorry. Bolt circle. And check. Next. So to create the center hole for the hub, select and extrude the feature set. Set the options to solid and remove. Choose the solid circle from the bolt circle sketch as the center sketch. Region to extrude. Select the through all end type and define the merge scope as the wheel rim, and then accept. Okay, so it's a long way about saying that we're going to extrude, solid, remove. So we want to remove this sketch here. It's going to be through all, and I believe that's, let's see, select through all end type and then merge with the rim. That should be it. The wheel rim should already be selected, merge scope, and then click check, and now we have a hole in the center of our rim all the way through. All right. Next slide. So now we need to turn our bolt circle sketch back on, and we need to create the bolt holes. So by doing that, we're going to select the hole feature. We're going to choose endpoint from the vertical line as the sketch point to place the hole as shown. And then here are our hole features that we're going to select, and then we're going to merge that scope. Merge the scope is set. The merge scope is set to wheel rim. So we're going to merge that bolt hole with the rim. Okay. So we're going to come over here. We're going to make a hole. Here's our hole pattern, hole feature. We're going to select. Oh wait, hang on. Got to turn on the sketch. There we go. So I can see where we're at. Go back to the front. There we go. So we got a hole feature. We got counterbore through ISO. So counterbore through and ISO. Clearance M10 and normal. Clearance M10 and normal. And then be sure to merge the scope with, okay, so that should be all of our features. So now we just have to select our point where we want it, right there, and check. And now if I zoom in, I should be able to see my hole with the counter bore, and then see it goes all the way through. So I've now put my hole in my rim to attach the rim to the vehicle, to the hub assembly. Next slide. So slide 18. To create additional instances of the hole, choose the circular pattern. This is what we just learned. We're going to select the feature pattern type and choose the hole as the feature pattern. Select the circular edge shown as the axis pattern. Be sure the angle is set to 360 degrees, equal spacing. We want 5 bolt holes, and then accept. Okay, so we're going to come back over here. We're going to go back to our patterns. It's already set to circular, so we're going to select that again. I'm going to change that part pattern to feature pattern. And the pattern I want to feature, I can either select it over here, but to me it's much easier just to select the whole feature here because I know where it's at. My axis, now I need to find something that I can rotate that around. I can do it around this or this. Usually they tell you to rotate it around part of the part that's already there and not construction lines, but you can rotate it around construction lines if needed. So I'm gonna select this outside ring here of the wheel rim. Notice it puts it in here, equal spacing. I want 5 of those and 360 degrees. And there you have it. Check. Now if I rotate that around, you can see I've just patterned my 5 holes. So if I make a change to the hole feature, it changes all of them and I don't have to worry about the others. All right, next slide, we're on step 19. To show the main sketch again, we are going to remove the geometry from the rim to put a tire on it. So we're going to select the extrude feature to do that. Be sure the options are set to solid and remove. Choose the outermost profile from the main sketch as the sketch region to extrude. Select up to face as the end type and choose the face indicated. Check offset distance of 20 millimeters and make sure it's behind the face or else it's going to go the wrong direction. And then we're going to do a second one, the same thing on the back side of it. And we're going to merge that with the wheel rim. So let's go do that. So we're going to come back over here. Here we're back at the front. So I'm going to turn off the bolt circle. So I'm going to go over here, bolt circle, and click it and hide that, and then go back up here to the main sketch. Okay, it's still lit up, so it is still active, which is great. So for right now, I'm going to hide this wheel rim so that I can see this easier. So I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to solid, remove, and up to face. So my faces to sketch. Oh, you know what? I don't have to do that way. I can go back and turn that on. Because if I move, I don't want that one. I need just that one. There we go. That's my outer one right there. So if I select that up to face, I'm going to select offset distance of 20. offset distance of 20. Well, maybe I'm going to have to turn that off. No, that's selected the right one. This, here, go back. So that didn't work. Hang on. Faces and sketch regions to extrude. I want this. It's not selecting that. Why is it not? I want that inside piece right there. Up to face, and the face that I want to go up to is this one. Offset 20 millimeters. Okay, so what am I not clicking on? Solid, remove, face of the main sketch, up to face, face of extrude 1. That's what I have. Face of the main sketch, close that off, exit that. Face of the main sketch. Nope, that's face of extrude 1. That's what goes there. Face of the main sketch. There. That was it. Face of the main sketch. Okay. So I had to click on the main sketch. I forgot. New software. Got to figure out all the intricacies. So to get that face of the main sketch, we go to main sketch and then click on it, and then that will select it. And then the rest of that stuff was correct. So face to extrude is there, offset, face to extrude there, and check, and it did not delete the information out of there. So let's try this one more time. We're going to remove this. We're going to go create an extrude, solid, remove. We're going to go face of the main sketch, up to face, and then the face will be this one. There we go. And we're going to offset. That will work that right. It worked right that time. That. We're going to do a second position. Same up to face. Offset 20. And this face, we got to rotate around to the back side and grab that one. And then wheel rim. And check. And now we have it. So that's it. Okay, so back over here, we've accepted it. We're going to go to next. So now we need to add our chamfers to the 8 edges around our wheel as shown. And it's going to be an 8mm chamfer. All right. So front, we're going to rotate that a little bit so we can see that. So we're going to select our chamfer command. Entities to chamfer, we're going to chamfer that, and that. And then I'm going to rotate this on around. I'm going to chamfer that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. All of these circular features that are sticking out. So that should be it. It said 8mm, and check. Now that edges off all of that, makes it look nice and clean. And next slide. So we're going to create a fillet now with the 5mm radius, and select the two indicated edges. That's the inside of that wheel where the tire is actually going to sit. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to rotate this around so I can see that one right there. Notice there's two. This one is for the chamfer. That one is actually the one you need, the one on the bottom of that. And then we'll have to rotate it around to see the other side. So we're going to create a fillet for this one because we want it round the way the tire sits in the rim. So we're going to create a fillet, and we're going to select that one and then rotate it so I can see this other one here. There it is, that bottom one there. And if you have to zoom in, you can. That's perfectly fine. 5mm radius, and check. And we're going to go to next. So now we're just about done. We're going to add our materials and display our mass properties. So material, this wheel is going to be made out of made out of aluminum 1060, I think. Go back. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? I just clicked there. Aluminum 1060, yes. So I'm going to come down here to my wheel rim, right click, assign material, type in here AL, start typing, it should pop up. There it is, aluminum 1060. Check. And then we're going to open up the mass properties right here. There it is. I'm going to rotate my wheel so you can see it better. I'm going to select the wheel rim so it gives me my properties. And you can see all the pertinent information about the properties of this wheel. And then I'm going to take a screenshot of that and include the entire screen so I can see all of your features over here that you've created. Your wheel rim, your mass properties should be on there, your title, and your name for your account on there as well, and upload that, and you are done.